Hello everyone, you got Andrew again here to show you the Intro to Maintenance course. We're going to start off here with diving into some work orders. We're going to click on Maintenance here in the main banner. We have our work order overview screen here. Important to note that we have our filters to filter between all of the work orders that have been created. We have a search box here, and then our Create New Work Order button up here on the top right. I'm going to click into this work order here. And one of the things I just wanted to quick highlight here is that we have our Details tab that automatically displays when we click into the work order. But we also have a Cost tab over here on the far right, a Documents tab, and an Images tab. In this Images tab, all we have to do is click Upload right here, select a file from the computer, and we can load up any one of these pictures here right off the computer. Another thing I want to highlight is that what plays into the maintenance section a lot is actually a tab here underneath the occupancy, and it's going to be the Units tab. We see a lot of our clients operating in the Units tab to update information in a unit. And so to add a new unit to Doorways, we click Add Unit up here on the top right of the page. We have to choose a program and a project for it. And then we have to fill in a few pieces of information like street, city, state, zip code, unit number. And then when you scroll down here, you have those filled out. Hit Save. Let's click into a vacant unit here. We see this unit has the status of vacant. So I'm going to click into it. And I can click into the notes here, the Notes tab, and add a note. I can choose between a few different categories here, but here's where I could put in a vacancy note. So let's go back into the work orders here. So that's by going into Maintenance. And then Work Orders is the main tab that comes up, the default view. But the quickest way to find a work order that's been assigned to me is to either just enter your own name, find the ones that have been assigned to you, or if you know the exact work order number that you're looking for, type that in. And both ways will come up pretty quickly, but I highly recommend using the search feature here. Once again, going back to units underneath occupancy, maybe I have a question about what all has been done for a specific unit, maintenance-wise. So let's go into Gandalf's unit here. We can tell it's Gandalf's because over here in the tenant column, we see Gandalf's name. But maintenance history is another one of those tabs that's available when you go into a unit. And here I'm going to see the previous work orders that have been done for him. Furthermore, if you wanted to, you could open this in a new tab and actually click into the work order to view it. And by right-clicking that link and clicking View in New Tab like I just did, I'll do it again real quick here. Open link in New Tab. You'll see the New Tab pops open up here. but I can just switch between these views really easily. That way I don't lose my spot here, because maybe I want to click into some other things and investigate further. But it's a nice, easy way to just open up new pieces of information without losing your spot. Let's jump back into work orders. Keep in mind all I did was click maintenance again. Work orders pops up by default. And if I wanted to, let's say that we had a work order that had to be done for a communal area, like a park or a warehouse. When I go into the new work order page here, you'll see here underneath property information, we have a little toggle here. Most of the time when you come in, we know that you're going to be looking for, a specific person, like Gandalf, or a specific unit. So when this button here, this is for a housing unit, is toggled on, you'll be searching by household name or unit address. However, if I switch it right here to say this is for a common area, I can now type in either an address or the best descriptor I have for the area. And I can tie it to a program and project as well. Then we can come on down here, and we'll see that generate work order is still grayed out, meaning that we're missing a piece of information. This could be a couple things here. Right now I see that it is that we do not have a summary filled out. Another thing that it could be, that is a common mistake here, is if you're searching for a housing unit, and if you write in someone's name, if you just leave it here, it's actually not assigned to a unit. You have to select from the drop down below. So you'll see here that if we just leave it like this and we try to generate the work order, it's going to give you an error. Make sure that you're hitting this right here in the drop down. Furthermore, you can select that unit here if there was multiple units that this household had lived in. And then you can also assign this to a worker right here, right off the get-go. Or you can do that later after creating the work order. When I go into a work order that's been created, let's say this one right here. Here's the cost tab. Just want to click in here. Yep, make sure that we have some costs, some billed to the tenant. Maybe the tenant calls in and says, hey, I never got the work order charges letter. A work order charges letter will, you'll be prompted to generate one by Doorways after you close out a work order that has charges billed to a tenant. Now, for one reason or another, maybe the tenant didn't get that. If you would like, you can generate a work order charges letter just by clicking this letter with the corner folded down in the top right. This is our universal symbol for generate letter or report. Down here, you could generate a work order report if you so wanted to. But up here is the work order charges letter. And I can put in a due by date. Say something like 10 days out from now. And here we have our letter. From here, you can either download it, print it off, or if we take it to the last step here, we can send it via email. And it'll auto-populate here with the email address on file for Gandalf, who was the tenant that we sent this to. You can edit this here too as well before sending it off, the message in the body or the subject line as well. You can also put a comma up here and enter in other email addresses if you want to copy anybody else in on that. You can view cost details here if you have this permission enabled. Typically, this is for those who review work orders, like a maintenance supervisor. But this is where you can go in and edit and delete out costs as you see fit. And if we were to add a charge over here, you'll see here that we can bill to the tenant or to the housing authority for labor costs or other. Maybe there's an outside vendor, so you can also select other. Same thing with materials. When you're billing, tenant or housing authority or other. Down here, you'll see here vendor, contractor, and you have the same choices here. So this concludes our intro to maintenance video. Thanks for attending, and I'll see you in the next course.